I wanted to take this opportunity to bring to the Lionel Legal page a little perspective on the fact that there's this thing that we should be dealing with called the legality of what's happening in right now with the United States and Iran. And be not mistaken, it is positively, absolutely, positively, without a doubt, one of the most incredibly illegal activities that we could ever involve ourselves in. It is without peer in terms of the fact there is no legal justification for it. None. There is no legal justification for it. Now, we have this wonderful idea that whatever we do is right, whatever we do is okay, whatever we do, it doesn't really matter. We just do whatever we want because we're the United States of America, and that is exactly what's going on. Now, let me give you my bona fides first to start off as usual. First and foremost, I will say to you that I am, without a doubt, a proud American. I love my country. The government is quite another story altogether. I do not understand the government. And I do not understand how that works at all. I don't get it. I don't see it. Now what's happening is that people will always question my bona fides when it comes to President Trump. They'll say you're not a real true believer. You're not someone who is a part of this thing. You're a quisling somehow. You can't possibly be involved in this. You cannot be a part of this unless you 100% sign off on everything that is going on. You can't. And I'm saying, well, I'm not turning in my MAGA membership card or whatever that means. I'm not a part of that. But what I am doing, and what I am explaining, is that when the president does something that I think is wrong, I will tell you. This is a way I have always been. I'm not going to change now, and there's nothing you can do or anybody can do to make me change from that. And I know this bothers people. I have so many people, absolutely, positively, without a doubt, just upset with me over the fact that I am ostensibly not walking in lockstep with everyone. I'm in this position where people are saying, how dare you, I sound like Greta Thunberg, how dare you do this? How dare you find yourself in the position of being daring to question this. Now, I will tell you this, and this is the most important thing in the world, and I'm sorry, but I will tell you this repeatedly. I will go through the reasons for this. First of all, thank you for being there. Fred's here, and Nancy, and since when? I don't think the people have been on board with wars. I've got to get a better way to look and see how we can do this. This may seem like a very strange part for me to bring up to your attention, but I will do nonetheless. Let me see if I can explain this to you. First, this is a war. Excuse me, it's not a war, it's an action that is done at the behest and on behalf of Israel. It is not our war. It is 100% for Israel. 100%. And we keep saying these things to try to get around it, that Iran has promoted and supported Hamas and Hezbollah. Okay, all right, fair enough. What does that have to do with going to war? Well, it has nothing really to do with going to war, but nonetheless, okay. So what precisely would you like us to do about that? Well, I don't really want you to do anything about that. But just understand, and they come up with reasons. So you think it's safe to bomb a You think it's okay to bomb a neutral, well, a country, a sovereign country, I should say, because they were, what? They assisted, we've all assisted. We have led coups. What are you saying? We have led coups ourselves. We have, anybody going to attack us? What are you talking about? Iran especially. Iran could say, look what you did to us. Look what you did initially to us. Look how. So look, I, I don't know how to tell you this, and maybe people have a hard time with it, but this is just nonsense. There were 3 sites that were bombed. Fordo or Fordo is the one that people talk about. The other 2, I'm sorry, I forgot the names. According to Scott Ritter and others, these were already bombed. There was nothing there. They had already been destroyed, and they were basically useless. And there's a question too, as whether the B-2 or whatever it was dropped these bunker busters. Were there U-82? Please, I'm not in any way trying to pretend that I know I'm not a munitions expert. But the real one that was important, the critical one, the critical site that would have mattered to everybody, that may have been forever cleared out already. Trump may have given them so much, so they knew years ago where they were going. They've got their own intel. Other countries tell them. I'm sure there are spooks inside Israel who tells them what. I'm sure. They knew where they were going. Trump even said, I'm giving you 2 weeks. Hello. Everybody get out of Tehran. He was telling them. Okay? This is the best thing in the world. Now, when they acted upon this, when they said, okay, it is rumored that everything had been moved out. That there was not anything substantial there. It had been moved. Now remember, all of the information that we receive, all the information is absolutely, positively, without everybody who, how do I say this? Everybody should, see, I have to go back to the reality. See, this hurts people. I've got friends of mine who are so connected to Israel, they have, not Jewish, but people who just, they're joined philosophically at the hip. They're just in love with the notion of Israel. Anything Israel does somehow is in. What does this have to do with this? Don't you understand? They said they wished us harm. They wished us harm, and you want to go to war against the country because they wished us harm? Yes, they wished us harm. They said terrible, bad things about us. Don't you understand? They said death to America. And you want to bomb them? Yes, you want to bomb them. You want to bomb them because of that? Yes. It's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard in my life. The president actually said that. He said this. This is the part that just kills me. They said, honest to God, they said, and this blows my mind. Now, irrespective of all of this nonsense, we have the following. We have President Trump, who might be one of the smartest people anybody has ever truly ever seen. And I'm not just saying this. I'm not trying to be cute. He's one of those people who, and maybe you've seen them before. These are gangsters who, when you meet them, when you see them, and when you listen to them, they may not sound like the smartest people. I'm not saying he's like that, but they have an incredible penchant for crime and making money. They're brilliant at that. Trump has a way of reading people, and he can do things. For example, he does two things. Number one, absolute orchestrated dysfunction. Changes his mind at the drop of a hat. Says he's going to do something. Say, nah, maybe not. Thinks out loud. Maybe this Israel thing is bad. I don't want to go the way of Libya. I don't want to go there. Libya, but that was. I don't know. Say, you're thinking about this now? Then he gets into a pissy match with Tulsi Gabbard. By the way, Tulsi Gabbard has to absolutely, without a doubt, resign. There's no way she's been humiliated. For her own future, things come back away to haunt you. Did you see, who was it? Laura Loomer, bless her heart. Bless her heart. I like Laura, her spunk. But Laura Loomer was making a big deal about the fact that all these people are not standing behind the president 100% and demanding and celebrating and lauding and applauding and calling for not death, but calling for the destruction, the end of Israel, not Israel, the end of Iran. Well, there was a picture there was a tweet that came up that somebody followed, and it was a tweet that Laura Loomer had sent or had issued regarding Nikki Haley, and Nikki Haley said exactly what Laura Loomer is now. She said exactly, and Laura Loomer was all over the place, blasting her. How dare you? How dare you, Nikki Haley? If you think this president is going to go in to blast Iran, what are you talking about? Well, now she changed her mind. I don't know how many times I've changed my mind. I think sometimes I've had like different ways of appreciating certain things, but I really don't change my mind. I don't change my mind. I don't say like, I think the closest I've almost come is the death penalty, but I'm really not there yet. But I'm thinking about, certain aspects of where it might be, but I don't change my mind. And when it comes to war, I am a child of the Vietnam War. That affected me forever. I just issued a repeat of my interview with the great Douglas McGregor. And I thought to myself, I'm never going to countenance or yell or scream or want there to be this thing called war. I don't want there to be. I don't want that to happen. In any event, so Laura Loomer now, she's changing her mind. So it comes down to this. Everybody figures, look, if I'm MAGA, I've got to be for this war. I've got to somehow extrapolate and connect this to something that affects American way of life or discipline, even though it doesn't have anything to do with what we're doing. I don't know what to call it. I don't even know what to say. I don't know what the hell to call this thing. I don't know. But I'm going to be for it 100%. Now, here's what I think may very well have happened. And I can say this as a theory, as a hypothesis, without necessarily being able to guarantee that it's the truth. But Trump might have said, look, we have already extended ourselves and committed ourselves to Israel, Adelson, and Laura Loomer is so into AIPAC. Miriam or whatever, Adelson is the greatest human being. Well, I'm sure she is, but it's like, wow. Well, we know the connection. Okay. And there's nothing wrong with you being paid by different lobbying groups to speak a particular thing, whether it's AARP or whether it's public, the teachers union, and there's nothing wrong with this. But for the longest time, people have said, don't ever say anything about Israel and AIPAC because you're anti-Semitic, which makes no sense whatsoever. So Laura Loomer is 100%. I mean, my God. Wow. Okay. I just wish she would. I wish Laura Loomer would say, well, I'm supported by AIPAC, and that's what I don't have necessarily this perfervid connection with a lobby unless I'm maybe a cause, but not a lobby. In any event. So Trump could have said, look, I'm in this thing. A deal's a deal. Okay, baby, you want us to bomb? It's a deal. Now, would you quit busting my balls after we do this? Yeah, you sure? Okay. One more time now. You're going to stop busting my balls? Absolutely. Okay. Let me remind you of that. Very good. Okay, terrific. Well, here's what I'm going to do. We're going to bomb. I'm going to bomb 3 sites, 2 which were already bombed and pretty much nothing. And we're going to get this Fordo place. And most probably the particular items of interest have been moved. We will not provide any type of geolocated or time-stamped versions of this. You're just going to have to take our word for it. Just take our word for it. Just take. If we tell you we did it, that's it. Okay. We're going to meet in the Situation Room. We're going to stand there. How about Marco Rubio? Marco Rubio looked like the most uncertain. J.D. Vance is also looking around because J.D. Vance's boy, you know this. J.D. Vance's boy is Peter Thiel. This is Palantir. Let's see what he does with that. By the way, Palantir provided a lot of the AI coordinates for a lot of the targeting in Gaza, which is another story. Because Gaza, by the way, that's still there. Trump says, "I can't help you with Gaza. I might pull your weapons orders," but in any event, so what they did was this. Okay, Iran, here we go. I don't think Trump gives a rat's ass about Iran. Iran is a veritable cacophony, just this pantheon of every bad guy you can imagine. From Kim Jong-un, you got NBA. You think when he goes to Saudi Arabia and deals with these people, he trusts them? They're walking around with sandals and gold, and you think this is Trump's deal? You think Trump intuitively he understands the money, but do you think he likes these people? Do you think that Trump likes hanging around in places with morality police? Come on. Look, he's a businessman. He says, "Look, I gotta deal with who I have to deal with. And I may not particularly care for them, but I'm going to look the other way and I'm going to do what's best for me and my country and my family," and that's it. I don't think he likes these people. So he held his nose and he says, "All right, here's what I'm going to do. All right, Iran, here's your deal." And I think the world knows it. They know exactly what it is. Okay, 2 weeks. Get it? You got 2 weeks to get rid of it. Okay, here come the bombs. Have you seen a lot of pictures of this? Nope. What have you seen? Graphics. You've seen that Lawrence, that little boy. Lawrence. What's his name on Fox? Yeah, Lawrence. He sits in there with he sits with Ainsley, Lawrence, and that Emily Campagno, and they say, "Oh, isn't this wonderful?" They almost become, they're sporting chubs over the notion of bombs and, "Oh, let's look at this graphic here." This is the sickest thing I've ever seen. Steve Bannon was 100% right. Fox News has become they should file as an agent for Israel and the Likud party for what they've done. Without a doubt. I mean, it is unbelievable. They don't make any bones about it. Nothing. Listen, Israel's great. I mean, that's not my country. That's their beef. It's not our beef. I've got no problem with Iran. What is Iran? Marjorie Taylor Greene is 100%. So remember, there's going to be this infighting, a couple of days. By the way, sign up for my newsletter. And July the 19th at the Cutting Room, yours truly, I'm going to be there at the Cutting Room. Tickets available. Just look for this little reference there. In any event, this is such nonsense. Because Iran, here's the best part. So now that Iran was pretty much, okay, people weren't really that crazy about Iran. But now everybody, Pakistan, Russia, is it, "We'll help you. You want nuclear bombs? Why didn't you say so? Here you go." They didn't have this before. They do now. How'd that go? That was brilliant. How about that, Bibi? You like that? Is that what you wanted? Why are we kissing Bibi's ass? What is this? What connection does this man? What threat does he pose? What dirt does he have on us? So there's three things they wanted initially. Number one, they wanted to stop and Lawrence Jones. Lawrence Jones, poor guy, can't pronounce words and he leaves letters. He needs diction work so badly. But whatever. All right, look, that's their business, not mine. Number two, what did they want initially? Three things. Number one, the end of the nuclear program. That's not true. They put it this way: their nuclear program may be gone, but they may just be nobody. There's no law that says you can't have nuclear bombs. Here you go. We'll give you one. Take one. You want them? We got them. Why didn't you say so? That's terrific. No more of these centrifuges. And Scott Ritter did this wonderful review of the age of the centrifuge, the MR1 version, and all this kind of jazz. So I don't know. So they wanted to get rid of the nuclear program, but that's not true. Number two, they wanted regime change. That's not going to happen. Well, there may be a regime change to something even more formidable, even more dangerous. That's great because the ones that are coming in, because Ali Khamenei, this guy, he's a moderate compared to the next group. Remember, you wanted this. You wanted this. And the third, they wanted surrender, whatever the hell surrender is. So this is just ridiculous. But yet, if you watch Fox, if you watch Sean Hannity, this was military genius. The American military was fantastic. The American military showed this incredible. The American military was without doubt, the most incredible. My God, the level of it. Come on, please. You have got to be kidding me. You have got to be kidding me. They are so, it's so sad. We have a war fetish. Remember, war is murder with a flag. That's all it is. It's a joke. And I expected more from the president, but look, maybe he figured, maybe he's the smartest guy around. He did nothing. He just emboldened a lot of people. He made Iran stronger. He made people pity them. I think it is the dumbest thing ever. Unnecessary, complete. I'm not saying, let Iran have a nuclear bomb, but you don't bomb them. It's called diplomacy, so that's the way that works. So in any event, my friends, what are you going to do? So remember, people are going to talk complete and utter shite. They don't know what's going on. They're going to spew. They're going to say, what about the liberty? They're going to bring up the liberty. The liberty is a big one too. The liberty. The liberty. The liberty. MD says, Lionel, your sense of justice and strong dedication to truth, even good, such as it could be substantiated, is compelling you to speak. Thank you for this. Well, thank you, MD. I appreciate that immensely. It's very, very kind of you to say that. I appreciate that. This is the truth. This is not brilliant commentary. This is the truth. And if you can't see that, you're not paying attention. You know what's happening. But I wanted to share this with you and tell you, is this illegal? Absolutely. But you don't understand. America does whatever it wants. We don't need to worry about no stinking laws. We're the United States of America. We don't have to worry about laws. We don't. Never. What do we care about? We talk about the Constitution until, everybody uses the law selectively. The left can't believe what's going on. By the way, it's so funny. AOC is completely full of it. She was for all this Ukraine stuff. Everybody's a liar. Everybody's a liar. You can't listen to anybody. You got to listen to me and listen to some good people. But recognize, nobody's going to do what's right. They're going to do what's politically expedient. They're going to do what promotes a particular cause. And that's it. There's nothing to do with what's right. Nothing to do with, the rule of law, rules-based order. None of that stuff. It's just the way it is. But Trump may have ultimately been the smartest person ever by, in essence, doing nothing. But doing something, meaning I dropped something, we dropped, but you'll see no pictures of this, nothing. And Iran is saying they didn't bomb anything. Oh yes, we did. You see, how do you know what you know, and what do you know? In any event, my friends, let me thank you for this on this Sunday night. Make sure tomorrow you listen overnights on WABC 770 or 77 WABC. You can get the app. You can go, I think even have things like other apps you can listen to. Or you can go to WABCradio.com and listen. Be a part of this. Listen to it. It is phenomenally great. Completely different. Hardcore, 50,000 watt mother of it's a mother. It's where I got my New York store. And 27 years later, 27 years later, back there. Don't ask me. Don't ask me. Don't ask me. I don't know anything. I don't know what people think. All I know is this is the best management, and they obviously know talent when they see it. So anyway, so that's that. Follow Mrs. L at Lynn's Warrior. She has some great videos coming up. Learn about Snap and Saturn and how that affects kids. She's going to be reporting this week about her her Washington visit. I will be talking to you more, and also thank you for this. Don't forget, follow us here at Lionel Legal. Make sure you are signed up. Make sure you are signed up. 80% of the people who watch us aren't signed up. We have our other channel, Lionel Nation, where we have a brand new video, kind of a repackaged version, the best of my interview with Douglas McGregor, which is fantastic. And that's about it. So you have a wonderful and a great night. Thank you so much. God bless America. God bless President Trump. He may be wrong, but we still love him. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not going to be some lefty because of this. But he's wrong. He's absolutely wrong. It's true, and you know it. And it was all about Israel and Bibi. It's not about us. But you knew this. All right, dear friends, have a great and glorious day. Don't ever change me that sincerely. And until we meet again, remember these final words, this wonderful word that I normally end all of my broadcasts with. The monkey's dead. The show's over. Sue ya. Da, da.